is Taipan for Shanzai.com, and here I'm fooling around with our iPad a little bit, which I hope a lot of you guys will be doing this year for Christmas. Obviously some of you are expecting, hoping, and probably planning on getting iPads in here under the Christmas tree this year. So of course, if you're already an iPad owner, or you're going to be an iPad owner, you're starting to consider important things like the accessories for the iPad. Sure, it's a device, you can use it all by itself, even your little fingers roaming all over it, making it do all kinds of wonderful things. But today we're going to compare some of the actual cases which provide protection for the iPad, but also provide additional value in that they provide a keyboard for those of you who prefer a real physical keyboard to the on-screen keyboard that actually comes with the iPad. So, the first thing you'll be doing when you look at your keyboard protective cases, you'll be looking for the style and design. And a couple that we've come across and had a chance to play around with today are both executive black type styled cases. You can see they're both leather looking type products with the fold over sort of attaché look and feel. Not much bigger than the iPad itself in terms of actual size, so they don't make too much more bulk or anything for what you're carrying around. This one's got kind of a more of a cleaner finish on it. This one's got a little bit more of a texturized leatherish sort of look to it. I think they're both not genuine leather, but they're a nice fine facsimile of. The two devices also both open up to reveal their keyboard contents that are included inside. And this one here in the black is actually a Bluetooth connected keyboard, so it connects wirelessly to your iPad. On this side here, on the other one, we've got a white keyboard, and the white keyboard actually comes with a connection that plugs into your proprietary connector of your iPad and allows you to connect to your device that way. There's some advantages and disadvantages to both of those keyboards, which we'll talk about in just a moment. Now, one of the things that you'll note from having these set up right immediately is that it provides a different kind of viewing angle and experience for the iPad. One much more similar to the use of when you're in notebook mode. Obviously, if you want to use the keyboard like a netbook in that mode, they were designed a certain way so that you could have a decent viewing angle on the keyboard in front of you. Both of these cases actually do provide that. And what's nice about that is even when you're not using the keyboard, you can actually consume content from the devices. Maybe read an ebook or be flipping through videos or whatnot, and still have them in really nicely and usable. So if you're down in the coffee shop or somewhere and you're using your content, the actual case functions as a stand for you as well. So the case is pretty multifunctional. There's no need for any connections to the iPad because you're going to be connecting through Bluetooth, so that's great. The keyboard itself has a dedicated on and off power button that you can see right here. And we'll just flick that on now, and you can see that the power lights have appeared there to let you know that it's on. Beside the power button, you'll see there's also a micro USB connection. There is a cable that comes with the case when you buy it so that you can power up the keyboard. The interesting thing about the keyboard is that it takes about 4.5 hours to fully power it up when it's plugged into your computer or PC or USB connection to the power supply. So of course, using a wireless keyboard, Bluetooth in this case, you're going to want to do the obvious, and that's connect it and have it recognized by your iPad. So the iPad's snugly inside of its holder there, up nice for your viewing angle. Go into your Bluetooth settings there, turn your Bluetooth on, and then let's turn on the power here on the side of the device as we mentioned earlier. Charge is powering up, press the connect button. You can see now that the device is showing up in the interface for the settings of Bluetooth on the iPad. Clicking the connection there will tell you, okay, it wants you to connect to your iPad, and it's asking you to enter a PIN code, in this case 7798. And then enter. And you should see, voila, it's now connected as it says there. So, one of the nice things you might have noticed immediately, I was able to press one button and actually return to the home screen. While the entire keyboard hasn't been completely designed from the ground up to go to the tablet interface, they have made a lot of nice little keyboard mapping additions to the keyboard, so you can move around the tablet a little bit. Up here in the top right hand corner, for instance, was the button that I just pressed to return to the home screen. It's also good because if you want inside some media or something, or you're watching a video and you want to listen and adjust the volume and whatnot, you can do those things on the device. Also, you can start playing here immediately from the keyboard as well. Great, one of my favorite songs. Let's pause it. Okay, all done on the keyboard, which is nice. Now, it's a full QWERTY keyboard layout, which is good as well, and this particular one has a very rubberized kind of finish, which means it's spill-proof or dust-proof. You can't really get anything inside of it. It's just one big piece of rubber that's been sort of imprinted onto the keyboard layout. And now let's just open up our Notes application just so we can do a little bit of what you're going to use a keyboard for, and that's some typing. Now, let's start a new item there. Now, as I said, the keyboard is a full size. It fits comfortably on the fingers. I don't know if you guys remember from typing class, but this was a classic, was the quick brown backspace fox jumps over the lazy red dog. Oops, back. There you go. And that's basically all the letters of the alphabet in one nice little home road out typing. Yeah, I'm a great typist. Definitely for me, that type of typing speed is a lot faster than you would find with the without a keyboard. With the on-screen keyboard of the tablet, I'm just not that fast of a typer. So let's take a look at the connected keyboard, which is not wireless per se, but it basically has the same layout and as the Bluetooth one that we were looking at earlier. Again, slide your device in, tuck it in with a little bit of a flap over the top to keep it in there nicely, and then you'll find there is a little connection here on the side which has the proprietary iPad connector pins on the outside there, and that just pops in nicely here into the side, and voila, your keyboard is connected. Now this one is a different style of connection. It has a little bit more of a angular viewing angle possible on it, although you can adjust it again as well for your comfort and preferences. The other thing is there's no power charge for this particular keyboard, so for some people who prefer that, they might go for that one. Again, the keyboard does do a lot of the map functions of the device. You can adjust your brightness back and forth using the keyboard. Again, adjust your volume, play, do a few little things. You can move in and around to the search function of the device by pressing dedicated keys for that. And basically you have about the same size actual keyboard and chiclet keys. This one's not a unibody, one-piece molded keyboard. It's all separate little key chiclets, so some of you again may prefer that. It still has some of the legacy stuff from the Windows world on it. You'll find there's actually a command button down here which doesn't really do anything since there's no Windows commands or windows to open from that. Looking at the two different tablet keyboard cases side by side, there's not really much difference between them in terms of size or weight or even design, really, for that matter. I guess it comes down to your preferences about whether you'd like to go with the Bluetooth battery option or whether you go for the wired no battery option. Price-wise, we're looking at the wired version for $49.99, and the Bluetooth version goes for $44.99. As you can see on the links below to the websites that are selling this product. Now, I think the way to look at that, whether that's a good value to people or not, is you need to think about, okay, you're going to spend what, $600 to $800 or in that neighborhood at least for your iPad, so it's definitely got some value to it. You're going to have to get a case for the thing, and no matter what, whether you buy a keyboard case or not, you should get something to protect the device and to carry it around with to protect it from the elements. I think what the keyboard guys that have put these things together are thinking, if you can get a keyboard case that protects the device, also improves the viewing angle and usability of it in different scenarios like on a coffee shop or on the airplane, and then also throws in the functionality of a keyboard, probably at for under $50, you probably can't go too wrong.